Hey guys, it's Brandon here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I have a very fun video for you guys. I have week 8 of Scream for Romance. We are nearing the end, guys, and it's so sad because this has been so much fun to host and just share recommendations. So last week is going to be the very final week of this challenge, and it makes me so sad, but I'm also very excited at the same time. Today I'm going to be bringing you, it's kind of a mashup of different recommendations, and it's actually going to be my shortest one, surprisingly. It is spooky vibes set in like an asylum, an institution, any of those, like a spooky school, any of those kind of fit that vibe. And I actually only have 4 books to talk with you guys, so hopefully you find at least one you haven't read yet. But I would definitely go on Bookstagram and check out all the recommendations I am sharing from other creators, especially the other hosts that are doing this with me. They might have some books that I haven't personally recommended, so I would definitely check them out because they might have more recommendations than me. So sadly, I only have 4 books that I could think to put on this list. Only one of them I actually own physically. The other ones I'm just going to put on the screen for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This may be one of my shortest videos ever, which is crazy. So let's go ahead and jump in. So first up, this is going to make the list. This is the epitome of this, this video. And it obviously has to be the first one because I got to start off strong. I'm talking about Gothic Haunted by Ruin X. This is a dark academia. It is set in a boarding school, and it's very gothic. You question whether things are like there's supernatural elements going on. People are dying left and right. You're trying to figure out what's going on. I talked about this book last week because there's also a forbidden aspect in terms of a relationship. We have a relationship between a student and a professor, and it's so fascinating. So that's why I added it to this list. I had to say the most obvious because this is the perfect recommendation. If you guys haven't read it, this is literally the time to read it, is right before Halloween, if not Halloween. This has everything you can ask for in a spooky romance. It fits all the vibes, the aesthetic and like the atmosphere of this book literally cannot be more perfect. Like I'm not kidding when I say that. I'm not saying it lightly. This is the epitome of the perfect spooky romance, so please go read it. So next up I'm going to talk about Born Darkly by Trisha Wolfe. This is another book that kind of fits the vibes. It's kind of loosely in this list, but I decided to include it because our love interest, or like our dynamic, is our heroine is actually a therapist, and the reason why I included it is because she's obviously a therapist, so it's set in kind of like a institution of sorts, and plus our hero is a serial killer, and so there's that whole dynamic. Her whole job is, yes, obviously she's a therapist, but she's not just like anybody's therapist. She's actually a therapist to serial killers who are about to be on death row, who have been recently committed for killing these people. She is very fascinated with serial killers like mind, so that's this relationship. It is a duet, so please know that. If you're a fan of audiobooks, I highly recommend the audiobook if you want to go check it out. It's really good. I am going to talk about Pretty Girls Make Grace by Stephanie Holmes. This is a recent read for me, and I'm very excited to add it to this list. This is another dark academia type book. I previously talked about it in one of my other videos, so I'm sorry if you saw that video and you're seeing this recommendation again. I'm sorry, but a lot of my videos recently, I have a lot of ones that just kind of fit in with several different videos I can do. But basically, if you're a fan of Corrupt, you'll really like this book because it has kind of the same idea of Devil's Night, where all these heinous acts are happening. People are dying left and right. And you're trying to figure out why are people dying? Why are these people doing these heinous acts on Devil's Night? Like, what's really going on? And it's just really fascinating. This also is another forbidden aspect because we have a priest, and it's at a Catholic boarding school, and they're not supposed to be together, and they fight their temptations, and it's another really good spooky romance to read. The very last book that I'm going to recommend for you guys today is going to be Black Sunshine by Karina Halle. Halle. I feel like I always say her name wrong. But this is another one kind of loosely based in this kind of like overall trope. But this is a paranormal romance, so this one is completely different. Our heroine is just finding out she is a vampire. She has never known that she was going to be a vampire, at least I remember. I could be wrong. But she is about to become a vampire, and our hero is a vampire, and he's obviously been around a very long time. And he is basically sent to collect her and help her through her change, all of that. But then her parents get involved, and you find out why they get involved, and it's just a wild ride. And this is a duet. I have not read the sequel yet. I really hope to get to it this month. When you guys see this video, we'll see if I actually got to it. This is about a week in advance, so I'm filming the week before this video comes out just because I had to create content ahead of time. But either way, I highly recommend this book. It's really good. It's another really good book for spooky season. But it is kind of like the most different out of all of these recommendations because it is a paranormal romance. But I wanted to include it because, like I said, it is kind of different. So maybe you wanted something different, and hopefully it worked for you. Those are my 4 recommendations. Like I said, this is going to be a very quick video. I hope next year, if I do this kind of challenge again, I have more recommendations for the specific trope. Like I said, please go check out my Bookstagram to see more recommendations outside of these 4. Because like I said, my list this week was very small, which is very sad because this was the prompt I was probably the most excited about. I think I'm most excited about seeing what everybody else has read and recommends, so I can add more to my recommendation list. So, you know, I'll put my information down below, so if you want to go check it out, you can. Last thing I want to talk about, I'm going to add it, you know, from here on out. If you would like to join my Patreon, don't feel like you have to, but I'm going to start including them in my videos. I did recently create a Patreon. The biggest reason why I created it is because I really like hosting book clubs. It's really a lot of fun, but it's also a place where I can share like exclusive content, but also you guys can help support me. I just am really excited about this. It's definitely very nerve-wracking to do something like this, because you know, you guys do have to pay for it. I'm not like gonna lie to you. It is a paid service. But I really hope you guys consider joining. I am creating 2 different book clubs, one for contemporary, one for dark romances. And the higher up the tiers you go, the more involved you get to be. At this time of filming this video, I currently have 4 tiers available. I actually have more like planned for the future. This is something I've worked on for like a long time. It's not like a spur of the moment project. I have put a lot of thought into this project, so I'm very excited about it. So if you want to join, the information's down below, or if you just want to check it out and, you know, see what's going on, it will be in the description. But until my next video, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.